Hey, Charlie, the NFL draft is Thursday, at least it is for most teams. The Texans start their draft on Friday. Fans are really out on Bill O'Brien, as to be expected right now, but why should they still care about who the team is drafting?
Getting aggravated and worked up is part of the fun of being a sports fan, so spin it within your own head that way. The draft is still important, and we think the Texans aren't participants on Thursday night, but this is Emperor O of whom we speak. What, might he not trade future draft capital if there's a player they really covet, say 29, 30, 31 late in the first round? Their second rounder after the Hopkins deal is 40. So 40 and maybe a fourth round pick could move them up 8, 9 spots if there's that particular defensive tackle or wide receiver or cornerback or guard, right? They have several areas where upgrades are warranted. But if there's that one guy they really love, it's within realm at least that they could go up to get him. But hey, they have needs. And while the glitziest and most glamorous picks, of course, are the first rounders, you can make quite a Hall of Fame squad. Certainly Pro Bowl squad out of second and third round draft picks. And while the Texans' overall draft history in rounds 2 and round 3 help explain why they don't have any of those Lombardi trophies in the showcase yet, it's still an important factor, an important piece in their team development. And one reasonable point that O'Brien made, and finally deigning to speak with the media on Friday, is he wants layers and layers of players, meaning depth, which is very important for special teams. And I think the NFL more so than Major League Baseball, certainly the NBA, the quality of your roster from the bottom up doesn't matter as much as from the top down, but I think it's more important. The depth, just the sheer number of players who are involved, the injury attrition rate. So this draft still matters for the Texans, no doubt about that.
What do you think? What position do you think they're going to focus in on?
If they like a guard, young, cheap, developing talent, they could cut Zach Fulton and lop $7 million with zero cap hit off their books if they really want to push, say, now for a Tunsil extension. But that offensive line, if they want to have a real stout protective unit of Watson, right, with Tunsil, and if Titus Howard gets right and Max Sharping, that's 3/5. Nick Martin's your center. That leaves one spot where you don't have what you consider to be a long-term offensive line pick. So to me, guard would make sense, but a more pressing issue is the loss of DJ Reader, because that's where their biggest subtraction occurred to this point. And so you might think in the defensive line, well, you have J.J. Watt. Yeah, but for how many games? Whitney Merciless started a house of fire. The fire largely went out the second half of last season. And your edge guys are improved if someone in the interior can give you a pocket push or command an occasional double team himself. So if I'm going to chuck a dart at the board right now, I would go for that interior defensive lineman, maybe seconded by wide receiver if they try to move money and trade the $7 million on Kenny Stills' deal for 2020 before he becomes a free agent.